Hey funky friends, this is Amy aka Funky Mama 0703. Welcome back to the channel. We got a pretty serious video this time, I think. My son introduced this to me. I think they might have had it in one of his classes, but it's a video about fat shaming that James Cordon from The Late Show, his response to Bill Maher and his stupid statements. Bill Maher is to be respected because he has a venue. He is out there. He's talking about things, and unfortunately, people take him as serious. And this, I happen to believe, having known, having watched Bill Maher in the past, he had to have been joking about this. This had to be one of his stupid jokes. And he doesn't realize how much he's really hurting people. I'm going to let you watch this video, and I'm going to meet you on the other side, and we'll discuss. I'll let you know, maybe I'll actually sit and talk to you about my weight loss journey that I finally decided to do. We'll check you on the other side. Not really a technical difficulty, but I really can't find any other way of posting it. The video that I was talking about is actually blocked. CBS has put a copyright on it, so, and it's their property, so it's fine. But I just thought it was funny, and I wanted to put it out there. If you are interested in listening, it's going to be James Cordon's response to Bill Maher's fat shaming. You can check out also the Bill Maher fat shaming video. Just all of it's on YouTube, basic property, so it's fine. But yes, I feel like I made it. Well, okay, maybe not, but it sounds good, so whatever. But I did get my first copyright block, so it's like, okay, whatever. But the video that would have been playing here with Bill, or with James Cordon telling us about it, you're going to have to research yourself, so I'm really sorry. I'll put a link I have a link of it in the description, so you can just click on those links. I'll even put Bill Maher's in there so you can sit and watch what he wrote, or he said as well. I'll put his first, and then James Cordon's after that. And then you guys can listen to it, come back, talk to me, and see what we have to say. Hey, I feel like did something because I actually got a copyright block, which is kind of cool for me. Anyways, check them out. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Sorry, I'm really sorry. So what do you guys think of that? Thoughts, ideas, comments, anything you want to put in there. I've got that bar down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts were on it. I have watched the full version of Bill Maher's comments, and I do know him, and I do know his comedy. Unfortunately, I also have taken this as a his being just him. You know, he's a comedian. As much as anybody wants to take him seriously, they shouldn't. He is just a comedian, and he is a satirist, humorist. Well, he's a comedian. But he likes to go for the satire and comment on certain aspects of life and that's what this is. I do not agree with James Cordon to think that Bill was meaning well when he did it. I'm sure there was not. I mean, it may not have been geared towards any one person, but I think he certainly was not trying to be helpful and, you know, trying to help these people lose weight, because I don't think that's what this was about. I think a majority of this was him just going for the laugh, because that's Bill Maher. He has a very wry sense of humor, and it is bordering on mean. I've watched him for years on HBO, and he did have some rather funny bits, but this here hit really hard. I was a child who was overweight my entire life. Started probably in middle school, about the same year my depression started. That's when that started. Gained a lot of weight, got up to, I believe, 150 in high school when I went for my driver's license at 16, or my driver's permit at 16. I was the weight, or that was the weight I was had put on my license. Um, I was actually 150 pounds up until, actually, that was within the last 8 years, 10 years that I switched to a little more realistic weight. Um, they never question you, of course, but at that time I was weighing 150 in high school, and I was overweight, not happy with what I saw. Um, like I had said before, I wasn't sure if it was the depression that came first or the weight gain, or if it was the depression that caused the weight gain or the weight gain that caused the depression, how it was. I was just not happy and had gained an awful lot of weight. Um, I don't know. To me, it was um, seclusion. I never got to spend a lot of time with friends. I didn't do a lot outside. Like I had said earlier, I had two really good friends in high school. One lived outside of town, and she's the one that I would most likely have liked to do things with. But because she lived outside of the small town we lived in, we had very little we could do together. I mean, we had planned to go to football games and that type thing, and that was fun too. You know, go to we were never really supporters of um, sports in our town, but we would go and watch the football games and have a little fun hanging out and just kind of goofing off and that type thing. And you have to support your home team. My other friend lived just a block over, and we never did anything together either. So most of my Friday nights were spent um, sitting at home and watching TV, or well, most of my weekends was spent watching TV and not doing anything of any import. And it caused issues. You really want to be able to be more active and get out there and play and get to know people. And unfortunately, I never gave myself the chance. So I stayed very introverted in my own world. So I never really got out and did a lot of exercise. And the only exercise I really did get was gym. And in the respect that some of the things that Bill Maher had said in his video, it was laziness. I have to admit, there was telling us why we got overweight, why we were having issues. Um, Bullying us doesn't help that. Um, I had extremely low self-esteem most of my life. To this day, I mean, my weight loss has done a lot to help me build up my um, esteem. I feel better about myself now, but I'm 52 years old, and it's taken a long time for me to get to this point and feel good about who I am and what I'm doing. And to see this video, um, it was hurtful. Your weight is not something you're overly sensitive about because it is such an aspect of your life. Um, you know, People view you going out to a restaurant. You go to, some restaurant that's a buffet type restaurant, and they're going to be watching you to make sure you're not going too far. It's not like they're concerned. Maybe they're more concerned that there's not going to be enough food for them. April last year, 2017, or 2018, sorry, 2018, I made the decision. I had gained a lot of weight. I was at, and I didn't even realize it, I was nearing 300 pounds. And it was an awful feeling that I had going on. Um, I had given up trying to lose weight. I had done a number of things. I've tried pills. I've tried diet. I had a dietitian work with me. I had so many things that things I was doing, doctors that I saw, and I just gave up. I'm like, maybe this is how I was intended to be, was overweight, fat, not happy about myself for sure. Um, then my sister and I took our kids to Wisconsin Dells, and we had a great time. I enjoyed myself, but getting in and out of the um, go-kart, that was my aha moment. There was a picture on my sister had posted a picture of the group on Facebook, and I'd seen myself, and I could not believe that the person I was looking at in that picture was me. Um, I was hit. We also did one of those old time, kitschy pictures, and it was a sitting on the Titanic, and we were at the end of the grand stairway. We all got dressed up in clothing that was period, well, to look period of the 18 or 1912s, getting our picture taken. And it wasn't until I actually saw the picture after we were done that I was, I can't say upset, I was shocked. I wasn't impressed with the picture, with the person I saw there. And fun picture, really cute. Two nieces, my daughter, me, my sister, and then my son. So it was, a bunch of girls and the boy. But I didn't like myself. And I guess my cousin had said something when we looked at it, and she was, or when we posted the picture, and she goes, "You look just like Grandma." Never met her, but I do remember pictures of her, and she was a larger woman, and it struck me. And the picture at when we went to a go-kart racetrack, and it was fun. But I remember struggling. The picture my sister took initially, um, which was my aha picture, um, really hit me. And then, of course, I didn't see that until the next day or so, or later that day. But I do remember trying to get into the go-karts, and because I had bad knees, I had a hard time getting in, and had a hard time getting myself comfortable and being able to push all the uh, clogs on the bottom that I had to get to, all the pedals to get it going. Um, it was difficult for me. And when I sat in the chair, my butt hung over both sides, and I kept trying to put one side in, the other side in, or just trying to find something that was comfortable. And it was not at all comfortable. And I just got to the point where it's like, I'm not happy here. Um, I was worried about the driving because of it, because I couldn't get my feet on the gas and the brake properly and be comfortable while I was doing it. So every turn I was concerned. So it was a fun ride, but I also had a lot of issues just doing it. Shortly thereafter, I went to give plasma and did my usual weigh-in like they always have us do. And when I got in, I looked for the first time, I kind of looked at the scale to see where I was at, and I was at 299. This was late March, early April. And at that time, my daughter was looking into getting gastric bypass surgery. So, she had to get up to Appleton, or get up to the hospital for that, get up to see the doctors. And we were going in for our informational meeting, which was the first step you do before you get into the program. And I sat there and just kind of listened to what was being said. And I had no intention. I was not thinking of it. I was not happy with what I'd seen, but I hadn't been to the point where I still pretty much thought there was nothing I could do. So I'm sitting there and listening, and all of a sudden I asked him about with my work. My biggest concern was being able to take the time off, and it was a difficult choice. But when I talked to the doctor, he gave me such a feeling of security and no fear. So I went about trying to get my doctor into letting me get this surgery done, or talking into the surgery. Well, not really talking in, but getting me on the way. And my insurance would cover 100% of it, barring a couple visits where I ended up having to pay a little bit myself. But they would pay the whole thing for surgery, which was amazing because it's expensive. And I did my 9 months of, we only needed, for our insurance, we only needed 6 months of um, supervised weight loss, and where my insurance required that we lost 5% of our weight. 5% of my weight would have been 15, 16 pounds, 13 pounds. And in the end, I lost 60 before surgery. So I was impressed with that. I just followed our doctor's, what is it, his after surgery diet, the rest of our lives basically, and had followed that as closely as I could. you're going to you have to be able to give yourself the ability to sneak every once in a while, but not a lot. um, Mapping out my meals. I found an app on my phone that was able to help me kind of map it a lot easier. Um, it was a bariatric app, so it gave me a lot of aspects that I was going to need with my doctor, and I just kept working my way through it. Um, Surgery was February 21st of this year, of 2018, and have lost 70 pounds in the 7 months that have followed. Um, I have, I do cheat, and that's where my problem is I do cheat a little bit, and I might have a little. They have ice cream out there for weight loss or people who are um, counting their calories and their carbs, and so I've cut myself back on that, and I've done that. I'll usually eat like you can eat a small tub in quarters. So that's what I've been doing is kind of watching what I'm taking in. And there's a part of me that wants to mix my protein powder into it so that I can justify eating it. We'll have to see about that if that works. I haven't tried it yet. Um, I do like my ice cream. I do like my popcorn. So we do cheat every now and then, give it a little bit more here and there. But um, it's difficult, but I'll show you the progress that I've made so far. This is what I look like after, and I'll show you the pictures shortly. I'll put pictures in here so that you can see where I was before, where I started from the aha picture right down to where I am now, and I'm very impressed with the change that has happened, and it's all due to the doctor. Um, I mean, yeah, I did the work and I had the surgery, so that helps a lot. But the faith that he had, or they had in getting me going is amazing. I remember in the waiting room or in the pre-op room with my sister, and I'm sitting there and talking, and when the doctors came in, I said, by the way, just so you know, I'm going to be one of your best patients for the day. You will go in, you will do the surgery, everything will be perfect, there will be no complications, and I will lose the weight I want to lose. Had came out of surgery. I had painkillers in the hospital, but they sent me home with it wasn't oxycodone, but one similar to that, and a prescription of it. And it was for me to fill myself and then use it as I need it. Never filled it. Had one Tylenol after I came home. The pain was rough, but it wasn't that bad. Um, the biggest issue was uh, the gas. You could really when they do surgery in your gut, they put carbon dioxide in to bloat your stomach up a little bit so they have room to move when they do the surgery. 7 uh, incisions where they can put their viewers and such to do the work. It's an amazing surgery, it really is. But the gas that they pump you up with for a good week or two afterwards, you sometimes have gas left over, and it has to work its way into the system so it can be farted out. And the one big thing they keep telling you to do is walk. One thing I think it was funny, the day that I got surgery, they had me up and walking right away, and that is the thing that got me going. Was every time I got up to go to the bathroom, it was okay. I'm going to take a walk or two around, or a lap or two around the floor. So I did that every time I got up, and they were the nurses were extremely impressed. But I was just doing what I thought to do. It was just natural. Got home and had slept in a chair for a couple of days, and it was extremely uncomfortable and just not good for me. So I found a way to get into my bed. Well, I couldn't get back out of the bed because I was afraid I was going to hurt my sutures. So I was very careful about getting in and out. Finally, and this is a pro tip for anybody who might be getting the surgery later, um, I used a dining room chair alongside the bed and use that as like the arm part of your hospital bed when you pull yourself up. That's what I used, was a dining room chair. Um, the one thing I will stress here is And this surgery isn't for everyone. And your weight loss is what's important. You find your way. Um, it isn't easy. It's not, having somebody come up and say nasty things to you or make you feel bad every time they see you. Fat shaming is not the way to help you lose weight. It's not good. It only causes depression and low self-esteem. And, you know, James Cordon's got that right. It is not a good effect because we take things so seriously. And to have somebody saying nasty things to you or hurtful things like that, um, it's not something we haven't heard already. We've said it to ourselves like 1,000 times. Um, how many times has a fat person looked in the mirror and just said, I'm so disgusted? I mean, I've had that too. I mean, I've done that. I, I've been super disgusted with myself. So to be at the point where I'm at now is a plus, and I love it. But like I was saying, shaming isn't going to get you where you are or where you need to be. Um, and surgery may not be for everybody because it's a rough road to go down. But you will find your way. If you are determined to lose the weight and do what you have to do, you will find a way. And I have faith in you. And if you're in the same position I'm in with being overweight or anything, just get that positive attitude and go for it. Because like I had told them, I'm not going to have any problems. It sure worked because I have not had any issues um, from the surgery or anything of the sort. I've actually been, uh, everything's been healing properly. My only biggest issue is I do tend to snack a little bit more than I should. So I need to probably get things settled back down again and just follow the rules, go back to basics with it. Um, I am a terrible person when it comes to snacking, and I know that's an area where I need to work on it. But just keep in mind, you have faith. Have faith in yourself. If you don't have faith in anything else, have faith in yourself and know that you're going to do what you have to do to make it through this. And you're going to achieve the things that you want to achieve because you have faith in yourself. And I trust you. And I know you're going to do it just by doing what you got to do. It's all we have to do is just keep doing what we have to keep moving. So after this, a couple pictures of my progress. I'm really, really proud of where I've been, what I've done, and I kind of like the way it looks. I still got about 25, 30 pounds to lose. I'm at 170 right now, and my weight has to go down to, well, 150 is what the doctor has suggested. So that's 20 pounds. And at 150, I will reevaluate what I'm looking at and see if I like what I see. Um, I look down at myself and it's hard to believe that that's 20 pounds that I still need to lose because I'm not really too fond of what I see yet. But may go down to 140, see where it goes. But it depends on what, um, the body looks like and how I feel. And I'm actually happy with 170 if I have to, if this is as far as I go. It is what it is. So, dear friends, now that I have ranted on this, not really ranted, but gone on long enough and gave you kind of an idea of my weight loss journey. It's not been easy. It's not been fun, and I certainly have cheated and gone through life rough. 51 years of eating whatever I wanted, and not even thinking about um, the consequences. I mean, I've done weight loss and I never, for the last probably 15 years, I just said, whatever, it's going to be what it's going to be, you know, why worry? And yet here I am, having taken a step into something completely different. When I started this channel, it was the same way. It's stepping outside my box, outside my comfort zone. And that's what this surgery has given me is the ability to step outside the comfort zone and to move on with my life. And I see it now as a big door opening for me. And I see a future. And we'll see how it goes. So after this video is probably going to be about 35 minutes long or so. But thanks for checking out. Like I said, I'm going to throw a couple of the pictures in so you can see my progress. And comments, anything you want to say in the bar below, because I'd really love to hear what your thoughts are, what you thought of this fat shaming idea, what you think about how it was answered. Let's have a little conversation. Thanks for checking out, guys. Bye bye.